The time has come.
Blink-182 is one of the world's most successful and notorious pop-punk bands.
How you doing? Oh, shit, I think I f***ed it up even worse, huh?
They've gone from underground shows to selling out stadiums, shipping platinum records, and the adoration of legions of die-hard fans.
Mark is my absolute favorite.
Tom, I love you.
Woo! They're awesome. I love them.
Blink was a band born in a bedroom and raised in the Southern California punk scene.
You and I should get away for a while.
Their first CD, Cheshire Cat, released in 1994, launched them into the public eye.
When Cheshire Cat came out, there was actually a record in the stores that I didn't put there. So I thought that was as big as we could ever get.
As their profile began to receive attention beyond the all-ages circuit, they were threatened with legal action by another Blink, an Irish outfit that didn't take nicely to a rowdy American punk band operating under the same name. The guys avoided the courts by adding the numerical suffix,
Blink-182,
initiating ongoing speculation as to what the mysterious 182 actually means.
Blink-182, I know what the 182 stands for. It's a reference to Al Pacino's character in Scarface.
Right.
He says, I can't say the F word 182 times.
Despite the name change, the group's rampant popularity continued to grow.
I think every day I get surprised by how well our band's doing.
It wasn't something that happened instantly because it was a lot of hard work.
They became a touring powerhouse, crisscrossing America and wreaking havoc wherever they went.
Yeah, I remember we did like 13 to 15 months straight, one year.
Not afraid to sleep on floors and live on no money out of a van to get from town to town.
I think about times we were traveling in the van and we'd make up stupid songs or we'd make up jokes, and we were so poor back then we couldn't even barely afford gas to get to the next venue, but we were having so much fun just playing music and being in a band and watching our dreams come true.
They were embraced by a nation of skaters and snowboarders, their most hardcore fans.
When I'm with you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. I just want to be your only one.
Their commercial breakthrough arrived with their major label debut, 1997's Dude Ranch.
Yeah, my girlfriend takes me home when I'm too drunk to drive.
The album included the radio hit Damn It, Growing Up, which became an instant international hit.
Well, I guess this is growing up. Well, I guess this is growing up.
Thanks to their die-hard fans, a few killer singles, and several appropriately juvenile videos, the album went gold, selling 500,000 copies.
Those are actually my testicles, and they're photoshopped into the cover there.
Suddenly, there was an actual reward for all their hard work, which only made them work even harder.
We're not in it for the records. We're in it for the money and the liquor and the whores.
I want $1 million. I ain't got nothing but $1 million bills in my pocket.
They embarked on the worldwide Vans Warped Tour, which allowed them to play for an ideal audience. Thousands of kids with the same fun-loving attitude that defined Blink-182.
I couldn't wait for the summer and the Warped Tour.
Definitely, I don't think that we'll ever grow out of that high school mentality. Having fun with your friends and making fun of people less fortunate than us.
We mock what we don't understand. Poo-poo, pee-pee, caca.
The tour was long and grueling, but eventually pushed Dude Ranch to platinum status. Always the quietest member, Scott had grown increasingly detached from Mark and Tom, often only joining them to play shows before retreating to be on his own.
You know, do what you want, live the way you want, you know, and don't, you know, just don't go through life worrying about tomorrow.
Just before the band's triumphant headlining slot at the legendary Palladium in Los Angeles, a moment which should have been a career highlight, Scott announced the show would be his last.
What happened to Scott?
Oh, he doesn't play in our band anymore.
Why not?
No, he's in another band doing his own thing, and he's playing guitar, and that's all I know.
Yeah, I haven't talked with Scott in a few months.
Enter Travis Barker. The band had met with Travis while on tour and had been impressed by his highly skilled drumming and dedication to music. With Scott's final departure, they knew they had their man.
And
So we approached him and said, hey, do you want to learn some songs and play with us? And he did in like 45 minutes. Not because the songs aren't complicated. That's not the reason. But because he already knew him because he's the biggest fan ever, so.
I remember having a conversation with him, telling him, yeah, I'd love to do it. I'm like, you think we could practice?
Their first album with Travis, 1999's Enema of the State, cemented their presence in the mainstream. While retaining their characteristic punk sound and lowbrow buffoonery, this album also launched the band on a meteoric rise up the charts.
Well, it's kind of like when Kennedy says we will put a man on the moon by, you know, by the end of the 60s or whatever. And it's kind of the same thing. People at the label say, we will make people like this band, but it took 10 years, you know, and here we are today.
The Manhattan Project is nothing compared to what it took for people to like our band.
Enema of the State debuted in the U.S. top 10 and went on to sell over 1 million copies in barely 2 months, thanks to infectious hits like Adam's Song and All the Small Things.
It was weird because we actually didn't look good in those clothes, and we thought we were going to. And so we go, you know what, instead of doing this video series, let's make it a joke. Because we went into it thinking to make a great dancing video with great wardrobe, and it just didn't work out, so we ended up making a joke out of it.
Right.
She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares.
It eventually sold 7 million copies and sat high atop Billboard's Top 200 for over a year.
We were very popular with the Barney and Raffi set.
It used to be like 16 to 20, but now it's easily like 10 to 25. So whatever, we don't care. We don't care if it's 80 as long as people like us.
A follow-up live album quickly followed, capturing highlights from their raucous-filled live show.
Doug probably already slept with your girlfriends.
The band that prided itself on doing things on their own terms was now a genuine household name, selling millions of CDs.
We came from punk rock roots. We listened to all punk rock bands. I guess the word pop, you can just use that to describe anything that's kind of catchy and upbeat and whatever, but you know, whatever you want to call it, you can call us a bunch of
Yeah, we're not about...
The mainstream they had always mocked was now their own reality. When we come back, the explosion continues. Blink-182 reconnects with their fans, and success splits the band from within, leaving the future of the band in doubt when Born to Be continues.